Hey everyone, and Happy New Year! Welcome to the Decorative Den, a look inside my craft room where I share all things crafting, planning, and cross stitch. My name is Charity, and I am so happy to have you here with me today for a FFO parade. So today I am sharing everything that I finished in 2024. I have 11 cross stitch projects and 2 needle felting projects to share with you today. So if you are interested in seeing those, then just keep watching. Like I said, I have 11 FFOs that are cross-stitch specific to share with you. I am just an Aida stitcher at the moment, kind of as I'm relearning this craft. I found that Aida is just the easiest for me right now. I use DMC floss for everything, or did in 2024, and I primarily stitch smalls. I love smalls. I love like little ornament projects. I have one project to share with you that I would consider more of a medium-sized piece, at least for me. And then the larger pieces I worked on in 2024 are just nowhere close to done. So let's jump in to these finishes. I'm going to try to do them in chronological order, starting with the first thing I fully finished in 2024, working all the way to the last piece. But you know, we're going off my memory here, and I feel like ever since having a child, I just have the memory of a goldfish, so I'll do my best. But my first finish, and the only one that I framed in 2024, is Pumpkin Moon, and here it is. So this is Pumpkin Moon by Needle Bling Designs, and I got this pattern out of the 2023 Just Cross Stitch Halloween special issue, and I stitched this for my daughter as a gift. I love Halloween, she loves Halloween, and she really loves owls and the moon, and so just everything about this pattern just screamed my daughter, and so I made it for her, and it's hanging in her playroom currently. It is all DMC, and it is stitched on a 16 count natural Aida from Charles Craft, and then this black frame it's in is from Signed and Numbered on Etsy, and I will link that shop as well as like everything that I mentioned in this video in the description in case you want to look at it. So that was my first fully finished object of 2024. Moving on, the next thing I finished was this sweet little ornament from Owl Forest. This is the pattern Boreal Owl, and like I said, it's from Owl Forest Embroidery. It is a freebie on their website, and again, my daughter loves owls, and so I love owls and I love stitching them. And I thought this one was just so sweet with the little acorns. I love it. I did this on a 18 count fiddler's cloth from Charles Craft. And like I said, I finished it as a little ornament, and I used some jute cord on the sides to give it kind of like a rustic natural look. And then the back is just some cotton fabric that I got from Walmart. And then I added a little 2024 charm so I'd remember the year that I stitched it. So that is my second finish. The next one is another freebie chart. So this is Happy Fall Acorn by Robin Pickens, and I'm actually going to put a picture on the screen of what this of the model because I did omit the words and just did the little acorn motif here, and that's because I wanted to turn this into a ornament for my daughter. So this was her Christmas ornament for 2024. I have a goal to stitch an ornament for my daughter and my husband every year, and this one just kind of fits like a little inside joke I have with my daughter, and so I thought she would absolutely love it. It is also on that same 18 count fiddler's cloth from Charles Craft, and I finished it with this orange pom-pom trim, and then the back is more of that brown fabric from Walmart, again with another charm, and I used just a little piece of hemp cord. You get this from the jewelry section at like Michael's or Walmart, so I used that to make the hanger on this ornament, and everything is done with the called for DMCs. So after that, I fully finished another stitch from the Just Cross Stitch magazine from 2023, and it is this one. This is Pumpkin Patch by Barbie Lowe. This is also on that same 18 count fiddler's cloth. I remember back in late winter, early spring, I was just loving this cloth so much. I did, as you can see, multiple projects on it over and over again. This is all done in DMC again, and most of these are the called for. I'm pretty sure I switched something. I know that this red, the red on these leaves was supposed to be a brighter red that I felt looked kind of pink, so I skipped that and just used the same red that I used for the house. And then one of these houses I also changed a color on, but I can't remember at this point what it was. But it's mostly called for, and I finished it again with some jute cord to give it a cute rustic look. The back is that same brown Walmart fabric and another 2024 charm. So I should say I stitch a lot of ornaments because not only do I like to gift them, but I have a vintage accordion peg rack in my living room that I decorate seasonally. And so I've had a lot of fun stitching different smalls for that accordion rack and getting to hang them and change them out for the seasons. So the Boreal Owl from Owl Forest was on that rack for a while. And then I had this out during the fall and just absolutely loved it. So then the next thing I finished is the only project I would call like a medium-sized project for me, and that is this gorgeous pattern. Oh my gosh, I love this. This is Blooming Swan by Pigeon Coop Design, and I did this on the called for 14 count Ada. I don't know the color. I just bought the kit from his website. And so this is, you know, the kit Ada and all of the called for DMC. The only thing that I did change is this beak. The charted beak had more of these like pinky colors that you'll see in a lot of the flowers. I decided to rechart that to make my swan a tundra swan because I stitched this to kind of like commemorate a time when we had a tundra swan living in the pond in our neighborhood, and my family, we loved seeing the swan whenever we would come home, and, you know, we would go down to the pond and got to kind of look at it somewhat up close. And it was just absolutely amazing to have this swan near our home. And so that's what inspired this stitch. And because of that, I wanted to make my swan like the tundra swan we had living here. And yeah, everything else is all the called for. This was my first pigeon coop, and I'm just obsessed. I bought Max Pigeon's book and plan on doing a lot of pigeon coop projects this year, 2025, because I just think his use of negative space is so unique and beautiful. I did finish this in a 7-inch hoop, and then you can see the back here. I just put some felt that I thought matched the green in the pattern pretty well. And then again, I have my little 2024 charm, and this sits in a modern hoopla stand. I will grab that. So this just sits in this stand, and I have it displayed in my bedroom currently. So that is definitely a favorite stitch for me of 2024. So my next finish was this one, and this is the My First Stitch kit from Bucilla called Live Simply. I got my kit off eBay, and if you search like Live Simply or like My First Stitch kit Bucilla, you will find it on there. It has a lot more greenery at the top and the words Live Simply on the pattern, but I omitted all of that because I knew I wanted to do just like a cute little stand-up of the mushrooms, and that's exactly what I did. I did a foam block finish for this. This was my first time doing a foam block finish, and I used the tutorial that Helen D put out. It was so easy, and the results are amazing. I definitely want to do more foam block finishes in 2025 because like I said, it was so easy, and I think it is so cute and impactful. I have a little shelf in my kitchen that I sit this on, and it is just so adorable and fun to look at. I used all of the floss that came in the kit, except for this brown here. This is just a DMC color I had in stash. The kit came with a black floss for that part, but I wanted something brown and not too harsh, mainly because I wanted to tie in the brown fabric I knew I'd be using. And then this is stitched on a 16 count Aida, the natural Aida from Charles Craft. So I did switch out the kit Aida because I felt like it was just too stiff and I didn't like the bright white. But yeah, that is my foam block finish. So the next one I finished was this, and this is called Green Tea, and it's by Largo d'Argento Shop. I feel like I'm not saying that the right way, so I'll put the name on the screen as well as a link in the description. This is a pattern I got off Etsy, and the model is green because it's called Green Tea, but I did mine in a DMC variegated floss. So this is, gosh, 3 something. I really don't remember the number. But whatever the red variegated floss is from DMC, that is what I used for this. And I did just decide to do mine in red because that is the accent color of my kitchen. And I have this hanging on a little shelf in my kitchen. And it's just so sweet with the teapots and the little acorns. I love it. It was a super fun and super quick stitch. And I finished that again with some jute cord. The back has red felt and then another little 2024 charm. Super sweet. So the next 3 projects are all gifts, and I don't have them with me anymore because I gave them out during Christmas. And so I'm going to just show pictures on the screen. The first one is kind of like several finishes in one, and it is my cross stitch gift tags that I made to attach to little candy and treat bags for people this Christmas season. And I'm gonna just play a little footage from my video. I do have a Flosstube extra that shows how I made them, and I talk about the pattern I used and go through the steps and everything. But all of the motifs on these gift tags are from the Christmas Advent freebie on the DMC website, which again, I will link below. And I just had so much fun making these. They were super quick little stitches, and I enjoyed giving these tags to other people with the hopes that the people I chose to give them to will keep them and use them as ornaments in the future. So that was my next finish. And then the next 2 are ones that I don't think anyone has seen yet. I finished them after my last Flosstube, so I will talk about them more later this month when I have my next regular Flosstube update at the end of January, but you're getting a sneak peek now. So this one is a little, I've been calling it Woodstock turkey because it doesn't have a name, but this is a pattern from the Peanuts Leisure Arts booklet. And I got this booklet off eBay. It's from the 90s. I will try to link one below if I can find it, but you might have to just search eBay for it. And I absolutely love how this turned out. This is stitched on the 16 count natural Aida from Charles Craft, and I finished it on this adorable wood pumpkin that I found at Goodwill for like $2, I think. And I painted it yellow, like a mustard yellow with just some paint I had in stash. And then I finished it by doing a little jute cord border and bow. And I gave this to my parents as a gift. They hosted my family and my sister's family for Thanksgiving, and it was just such a lovely Thanksgiving. I wanted to give them something to kind of like remember it, you know, commemorate that holiday. And Thanksgiving is my mom's favorite holiday in general, so I knew that she would just love this little stitch. And then the next one I finished just shortly before Christmas is this one, Decorating Owl by Jessie Schofield. And this is from the Just Cross Stitch 2023 Christmas Ornament magazine. And I did this on 14 count black Aida with all the called for DMC. I love that this pattern included some blending with the pine needles and some beading work with the little red beads. I made this for my sister. We decided to do a cross stitch ornament exchange this year, and I will say mine came out huge. I don't know if I would call this an ornament. I say good luck to my sister. She might not be able to find a place on her tree, but I figured she could still use it somewhere, decorating for Christmas or winter. So back to live me now. Enough pictures. The last thing I finished this year is this sweet little ornament. This pattern is Christmas Love by the Little Stitcher, and I stitched this one to be the Christmas ornament for my husband for 2024, and it is on a 18 count Aida from, Fabric Flare? I'll put it on the screen. I really should have done more research before I started filming this. But the color is called Lichen, and it is just this very muted, almost tan green color. And I thought it looked so pretty for Christmas and really worked well with the colors in this pattern. Again, I used all the called for DMCs for this and finished it as a little ornament with some white felt on the back and some matching trim with my little 2024 ornament. And again, I used some hemp cord from the jewelry section of Michael's to do the hanger of this one. And that is my last cross stitch finish. I did have 2 needle felting finishes at the start of this year that I did before I started cross stitching. It's kind of what gave me the itch to stitch again. I was needle felting and then thought I really could go for a cross stitch pattern. So let me grab those real quick. All right, this one's kind of large, so I did my best to fit it on screen here, and hopefully the glare isn't too bad and you can see the actual piece because it is framed under glass. But this is my first felt needle project ever. And basically back in January, I took a felt needling class through work, which was so awesome that they offered it. And it was by a coworker who is really good and does a ton of 2D and 3D felt needling, or needle felting, there we go. And so she taught this class where we all got to make a little penguin, and this is how mine turned out. The penguin design was already sketched out on our piece of felt, and so the class went through techniques for filling that in, and then we were encouraged to decorate around the penguin however we wanted. And so I just kind of made up this pattern with the hearts and the polka dots and the leaves, and I just am so in love with how it turned out. And I just stuck it in this frame, and I have it hanging here in my craft room. Then after I did that penguin and took the class, I wanted to try another needle felting project. And so that one came with a pattern, like it was very structured, filling in the penguin. And I wanted to try just like a landscape piece where I kind of just did whatever I wanted and did not follow any kind of design or pattern. And so this is what I came up with. This is, I guess, technically not an FFO because I still have to finish the back. So I'm just gonna tuck in my felt here so it kind of looks more finished. It's a cheat, but I don't know when I'll actually show this ever again. So I'm gonna show it even though the back isn't fully finished. I was going for a pretty like cotton candy sunset sky on a winter's day. And then I have a couple trees and 2 little red birds. I feel like this piece really needs something down here, but once I kind of got these birds in, I was like, I really don't trust myself to do anything else on here, because if I mess something up, I'll be a little upset, because I was pretty pleased with how this came out for not using a pattern or anything. And so this snowy scene is my second one. I will eventually finish the back of this, pull this all in and finish it with a piece of felt. But this is another project that I'm going to just have hanging in my craft room, and maybe I'll feel inspired to do a little more needle felting. But yeah, that will do it for this video. Those are all of my finishes for 2024. Like I've mentioned, I will have a regular Flosstube video coming out later this month. So if you're new here and liked what you saw, please consider subscribing and sticking around for that next video. I also do tons of paper crafting, planner videos, and just other general craft projects on my channel. So if you are a crafty person, you are most definitely welcomed here. But thank you all so much for being here with me today. I hope you are well, and I'll catch you in the next one. Bye.